very good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 23rd day of August 2021, and what a weekend. I would say 5 days what 5 days it's been at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Looks almost like the Olympics started on a low, but the moment the medals started coming in, the bling just couldn't stop. So we're going to be having a conversation about that, the World Under-20 Championships, and also Saturday night, the athletics world doesn't sleep. The Prefontaine Classic was a real classic. We have to say, Faith Kipyegon, she keeps making it, look easy to run the 1,500 meters. Also, Kenya's national women's team, the Rugby Lionesses, they are playing against Colombia on Wednesday. What are the preparations this week with Coach Felix Olo via Zoom at their bubble camp? And also on course with golf, the World Corporate Golf Challenge, and on the 3rd and the 4th of September, Royal Nairobi Golf Club will be hosting that. About 250 top executives in the country. What's the format? What's out there for them? Plus also a conversation about football. Kenya is hosting the CECAFA Women's Club Championship. This is a pathway to the CAF Champions League for women. So we've got 10 clubs participating from this weekend. Plus also Tusker officially crowned the FKF Premier League champions, and the Harambee Stars collapse. All those we shall be taking a look at over the next 2 hours. Our sign language interpreter is Susan Ngu, and welcome to the program. Let's start with a conversation around athletics, and I am joined by our regular athletics pundit. He was in the cold room at the World Under-20 Championships. He's been at work for the past 1 week. Coach Stephen Mwaniki, welcome. He's on my far left. And on my immediate left, 1992 Olympic champion in the men's steeplechase. His name is Mathew Birir. Birir, thank you. Welcome again.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and by the way, you are one of those people who had been invited as part of the legends of athletics at the World Under-20 Championships.
Yes, but later I was changed to assist in managing the basket carriers, but which I did very well.
Yes, no wonder when I saw your pictures, you had something on your arm, a yellow tag that showed that you could access several areas. And for Coach Mwaniki, the call room, what was the experience for you? Because this is the second time you're having to manage athletes, and in a program that is 100% driven by a television program. So if a race is starting at 5 or 8 p.m., those athletes must be on the track. I mean, the gun must go at 5 or 8.
Yeah, we were managing athletes at the call room 1. This is a very important area whereby you make sure that all the athletes report at the stipulated time. So all the athletes had to pass call room 1 from the warm-up area. They come to call room 1 and then they go to call room 2. And then finally, they end up on the track. So this was very crucial, and I was able to meet all these top athletes and sometimes have a conversation with them.
Now, the conversations around this, I know, first of all, redemption came in the form of 2 gold medals in the steeplechase. I know it's something that Mathew Birir will be proud of, especially after the debacle of, what happened at the Tokyo Games. But let's start with the story of Harrison Wanyonyi. And I'd like to ask my director, Mogo, if you've got Harrison Wanyonyi's interview after he won the 10,000 meter race walk at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, 25 laps around the track. It was a historic goal and started off what turned out to be our Wanyonyi weekend. Let's hear Harrison Wanyonyi speaking after he won his gold medal.
Mungu atanisaidia nitakuwa in medal bracket, and that was what I suspected, because we are Kenyans and we are long distance event, and my coach told me to stay with them. Kana hawa I was watching. The pace was very high, and that event was started in high pace, and which I feel that I'm not going to make it. But when it reaches 3 laps to go, I feel my body was good and the reaction was there. So I tried to kick and I see I was going to win. It gave me morale, and the Kenyans are shouting to me, Wanyonyi, Wanyonyi, and I feel the legs are not moving. But when I hear that sound, I move. My tactics for the last lap is that's the cup one. The 200 lap, for me there, I move very fast, and then I relax that 100 of the last one. My next plan is I plan for 2024 Olympics Games, where I'm very sure I will be there in gold plans. I will be there, and my dream is to become Olympic gold medalist and a world champion. For me, I can urge the athletic Kenyans to take race walking very serious, because race walking is a long distance event which East Africa and Africa dominated. So I want to tell them to take race walking seriously and to give another Kenyans opportunity to participate in this event, because in Kenya I'm the only walker who was given an opportunity to participate in race walking. Even though we are two, I'm sure we will win gold and silver. That I'm sure.
Well, there you've had it from Harrison Wanyonyi, and on Saturday morning, the talk was about Wanyonyi. First, Birir, you had the great opportunity to be trackside throughout the events. When you saw this, what was your first reaction? Because we've been talking about Kimutai and Gathimba for the last 25 years.
You know, Wahome, I wasn't sure that this guy was going to win, because this is an event we have never been consistent in terms of performance. We know some have performed before, but I don't know what happened in between, because you see, this guy is a junior, but between junior and the senior, something is happening in between. We have not been able to actually get it right in the international event in the senior level. So I think it's an event which needs more investments. It needs more coaches to be on the table to decide, because you see, this is a potential race walker. This guy is positive. He wants the gold in the Olympics, but it's the athlete alone cannot win without the government, without the coaches, without the assistance of the doctors, without the physio. You saw what happened in Rio.
Yes.
If this athlete goes to a situation, the weather condition in Rio, without the support of the government, the coaches, and all the system is working, he may not be able to deliver, even if the athlete is positive about performance.
All right, Coach. For people like George Kariuki, there's Ochieng who are in race walking. What's the next, task for them to ensure that there is that transition? Because there's a worry that the transition from under 20 to seniors, even Seb Coe, the World Athletics president, is worried about that. What needs to be done?
Yeah, we need to change our way of managing the athletes. We need to have follow-ups. We need to make sure that these athletes are given what they require. And also, we need to expose them. We need to expose them in major events, so that they can be able to be up to the standard. And this was a plus for us, for Wanyonyi to win the 10,000 meters on track. So this is a positive move, and we need to take it up to another level.
I think there's one more about this. The coach who was taking care of that athlete, at some point he will not be there in the scene in preparing that athlete, and I think that is where the missing point. That coach needs to be given a chance to go with that athlete, and if possible, what the Europeans are doing, once you have managed an athlete, train until performs, you need to be paid to take care of that athlete all along. And that's what is missing in Kenya. We need to have the ground coaches be paid by the government, do the job all the way. But when that coach loses the athlete, it goes to a different coach. That new coach introduces new things which may not favor the athlete.
Very interesting insights from Mathew Birir, 1992 Steeplechase champion at the Barcelona Games. And let's continue with the story of Wanyonyi. Emmanuel Wanyonyi, 143.76, a championship record in the men's 800 meters. And Noah Kibet taking a bronze. There is a little behind the scenes story that Stephen Mwaniki did watch. But first, what were the reactions of Wanyonyi and Kibet after the gold and the bronze? All right, we shall be getting that 800-meter video from the reaction from the two. But, Coach, you are telling me something, that David Rudisha was actually with these two people before they got into the stadium.
Yeah, I was at the Quorum 1, and then I was surprised to see David Rudisha coming behind the Kenyans. And he told us that he wants to follow these guys up to the event. And we don't know what he told them, because you see, having king of 800 meter, David Rudisha, talking to these young men, telling them now it is possible. And this is what motivated Wanyonyi and his colleague to make sure that we get this gold medal in 800 meters. And that was good, to have our athletes our elite athletes, talking to our athletes, this one motivated our athletes to whatever level they were able to run. And looking at Wanyonyi, a young guy running 1:43.76, that was phenomenal.
Birir, the front running style that we saw from Kibet before eventually Wanyonyi with that final kick towards the end, what was your take on that?
First, I have to talk about Rudisha, what he did, because that was a mental preparation. And for sure, we've been saying our winning style is front running. You saw what was happening in Tokyo, like in the 1500. This guy Saruni is the guy we expected him to win, but he didn't know how to run the rounds to make it to the finals. But for us to survive in the championship, because it may be slow, it may be fast, it may be anything. There's pushing, pulling, and whatever. But you see, our running style for winning is front running. You saw how Ngugi won in the 5,000.
Yes, he went. Yes, he went.
Was a front runner. He went all the way to win. You see, Rudisha is a front runner. He went in front all the way until beating the world record and winning the gold for us. So, as Kenyan style is front runner, the same thing. See, if we don't, or at least if they don't stick in front, do the pace, not even the pace making, command the pace all the way and be sure that you are going all the way to win. You see what Ruta did in Stuttgart World Championship. He was told to best make, and then he went all the way to win, and that has been our winning style.
Well, great insights coming in from them. I'm sure we'll be getting the reactions. My director Mogo will be putting them together. Then we also had another Wanyonyi, the third one, Noah Wanyonyi, bronze medalist in the 4x400 meter relay. Coach Mwaniki, this is your area, the sprint. What went right, what went wrong with Kenya after Wanyonyi did the first lap, the first leg, and handed over the baton in and then in leg 2, that's where Kenya fell off. Botswana and Jamaica took the lead.
Yeah, it was okay. I want to congratulate the team because winning the bronze medal, this was not a national event. It was a world relay event, a world championship event, and this is a plus for us. You know, since 1972 in Mexico, we've never featured at the top in major events like what we saw in
I think the exception be what, 92 in Barcelona?
That was Barcelona. But now this young man did us proud, and we expect that these young boys, if they are put together and they work together, will be in Paris and will be able to stamp our authority in this event. What is important is that the quartet, the way the coach arranged the team, it made us get this bronze medal, and I want to congratulate the team for their good performance. Though Botswana, they had a very good tactic, because you could see the command was taken over at the second guy. When the second guy received the baton, that is when they took over the whole thing, and that is how Botswana won the event. It is very key for any coach to be able to plan his team, to make sure that the people you put among the top 4, you be able to position them in the right position. And this is what has happened with the teams that have been able to handle the one which was in 2010 in Nairobi, and the one in Asaba. You have to plan your team. You can have the best guys, but the planning is very important.
And also Brazzaville 2015.
Yeah, Brazzaville 2015. So kudos to the team, even the coach. He really worked hard to make sure that the team gets us a medal, and we were happy about it.
Birir, you've seen, I mean, proper 400-meter runners are the late Samson Kituri. I mean, there was that the relay quartet when we had the likes of Abednego Matilu, Nyangao, Anzra, David Kitur. What needs to be done to keep these people in the 400 and in the hurdles without them getting, being tempted to move up to the 800?
One thing is that there has not been that dominance in the sprints. So most of the athletes think that we don't have a chance, like in the Diamond Leagues, if you do the sprints, because it is dominated by the Jamaicans and the Americans. Now Botswana is coming up, but I see Kenya. We have a chance in every event, even the sprints, even the field events. It's only that the athletes think that if instead of running 400 or 100 or 200, I better train 800 and have a chance in the Diamond Leagues, and that is why there's that at least moving to the other events and neglecting the sprints.
Let's talk about Sheila Chelagat, who won the bronze medal in the women's 400 meters. Your take on that, Birir? For a young girl, she said, looking at it at this age grade level, there is Mary Morash inspired. She's inspired them for real. But she's also saying, look, there is also the 800 meters that I'm moving to, because you've just mentioned about staying in the sprints. At the opening press conference, she said, this is my last year in the 400.
But you see, as I was discussing with Mwaniki, I think there's some, our training preparations for the sprints, I think there's something which is missing. And I was saying, we need to encourage our athletes to stay in the sprints, and the government to do an investment so that they train outside. Once we don't have enough equipments like the gyms, the coaches, and even the coaches like Mwaniki. I know he's trained coach, but I want Mwaniki to be sponsored to go to Jamaica and meet with the Jamaican and share the experience, share even the why the Jamaicans, even Botswana, even if we don't go to Jamaica, we go to Botswana, I'm sure they will allow Mwaniki to interact, so that I think there is a secret we are lacking to make us prosper in the sprints.
Well, that is Sheila Chelagat, and that was the medal. Now, let's talk about the 1,500 meter gold. This was won by Vincent Keter. And there was a case of Kamare Tiang, eventually got disqualified. But and this is something that got me worried heavily. Disqualifications in the women's 800 meters. There was not a single Kenyan in the semis because of a DQ. There was also a disqualification in the relays, and now there was also the Kamare Tiang disqualification. What's the lane discipline matters here, coach?
Yeah, you know, the athletes should be aware that the whole track is covered. They have very big cameras where they cover each and every inch of that track. And if you run the local meets, sometimes the umpires miss to report that somebody has stepped into the track. But for this one, you could not cheat the camera. And this was an unfortunate thing. But we need, as coaches, to train our athletes that the most important thing is that you have to take care and make sure that you don't step into the track or just infringe the rules. So once you infringe the rules, then a DQ comes in, and that that affects the whole team. And for Etiang, for him, he was given a chance because there was that saga about him not going to Tokyo, but it was unfortunate because he had to follow the doping rules that were put in place for each and every athlete. Anybody going to Tokyo was supposed to have taken the dope test. And it was a lot was said on the media. Everybody was there saying, why Etiang? This time around he was given a chance, and it was unfortunate that he could not get us a medal, but we are happy because we got the gold medal. And whatever happened to him, we will say that it's a learning process. He's still a young guy, and we know that he can be able to run. I would urge his handler, those people who handle Etiang, to be very careful. The media, playing around with the media and talking a lot doesn't make anything. They only need to follow what is there and what is the rule, and also support the federation, because the federation is there for all of us. So we are sorry for what happened to him, but we need to be sober and work together as a country to be able to deliver the medals that we wanted at Kasarani.
Birir, how then do you handle these athletes who are coming through the age grade system so that, number one, they understand the rules, because Kenya's talent is emerging everywhere, so that they understand that, yes, there is the category A classification that Kenya has, and that means you may break into the seniors but not qualify for Kenya, but not be able to run for Kenya because of some of these rules. How do you prepare them?
See, like what my coach talked about, that the athletes needs to be aware of what the rules is about. But you see, also the athletes needs to be prepared through the rules, even practically. Like now, when they training through the bends, some athletes may have not been taken through the bends trainings, side things, because Mwaniki, I want to believe that these athletes were trained the same way without even thinking of, when they were doing their trainings, they were to be conscious of stepping on the other line of the other runner. I'm sure they were never prepared during the trainings, but those are the things that needs to be not to be ignored. And even the doping issues, to be taken through all the rules which is required. Because, technically, even if you go to championship and you break the rules, you are technically out. And that is part of the championship.
Well, let's talk about another event, the women's 3,000 meters. This one was won by Teresia Mwaniki so convincingly. You got Teresia's video ready? Yes, 3,000 meters women. Let's hear from Teresia.
Nasikia furaha sana kwa sababu maombi yetu ya kwamba nimegundua chochote unachoomba Mungu atakupea, because since we were here last time for the trials, nilisema ya kwamba liwe liwalo, I will be ready for the challenge, and finally I have made it. I thank God for that. Hii ni mwaka yangu ya mwisho under 20, so coming next year I will be joining senior, whereby I'm aiming for the same, to continue with the same spirit, and pia nitatia bidii ili ninapokutana na hao seniors I will be able also to compete with them, and I hope that I will have a good experience running with them. Kwangu kwa hiyo training ya mwezi mzima hatujakuwa na shida yoyote, wamekuwa wakituangalia vizuri, na biragu linaweza kuwa kwa wale ambao wako chini. Kuna wengine saizi wanajiinua kidogo and maybe they don't have some facilities, au ndio wanaweza taka washughulikiwe sana, because they are the upcoming generation, na tunaweza taka pia wao wa prepare mazoezi yao kwenye hali nzuri wakiwa na facilities.
Well, that is the 3,000 meters under 20 champion, Teresia Mwaniki. She's also the fastest at that age grade, and actually she clocked 8:56, actually 8:51 in Nairobi at the under 20 trials. How much potential do you see in her, Mathew?
I think she's ready for the seniors. I think she'll do us proud there if she's prepared well. If from now on is prepared in the right way, and the good thing I like with her is that she has a positive mental attitude. She talked about the facilities for the others, but I think, as I said, well, now I'm sure she has a manager, and of course if you have a manager, at least you stick to one coach so that they don't change this way of training. So I'm sure she has a future in 3,000 meters steeple, running 3,000 flat, running 850 something.
856.
856. That's a good time, especially in the altitude.
And coach, the question then is, everyone's been asking, after Helen Obiri, who's going now to the roads, because this is her final, she's made it clear that this is her final season on the track, is there a crop that can effectively take care of the 5,000, 10,000 from what you witnessed at the under 20 championships?
Yeah, we have some potential athletes who are coming up, and we think that we are ready to have more athletes coming to take over from Obiri. But in our earlier interview, I said that we are not running short of marathoners. So Obiri should think and look, 3 years is just is a twinkle of the eye, and we are in Paris. So you should wait a bit and at least run for us in 10,000. About Teresia and the Wanyonyis, I think kudos goes to Athletics Kenya. You saw Barnabas Korile went all over the country. He went to all the counties, trying to talking to athletes, trying to support them even in the era of this COVID. He was able to give them food stuff and all the support. And this is why we are having the Wanyonyis, the Teresias and all this. And it means that all over the country, if our counties can come together and work and try to develop sports, then we'll be having more Wanyonyis, more Wafulas, and more Onyangos, and even from the coast we can have Fatuma just running for this country. So we want to thank the federation, because they went out of their way to make sure that they visit all the places and support the athletes in time of this pandemic.
Well, 1 year of work and the medals came in. Well, this is Sports Check on this Monday morning. It's after a weekend when Kenya topped the world. 8 gold medals, 1 silver medal and 7 bronze medals, 16 in total, And not just that, the placing table, Kenya was right at the top, 128 points. Then after that, Ethiopia with 111 and Jamaica with 100. In conversation with, on my immediate left, Mathew Birir, 1992 champion in the 3,000 meters steeplechase at the Barcelona Olympics, and Coach Mwaniki was with the Kenya team at Asaba 2018, the Senior African Athletics Championships, where Kenya again did what they usually do, top the medal tables in an African championship. Let's now talk about the 1,500 meters. Everyone says Faith Kipyegon at the moment, probably the best 1,500 meter runner we've seen over the last 5 or so years. But there is Purity Chepkurui, who took the women's gold, and there was also Winnie Jemutai, who took the bronze medal. And let's hear their reactions after they made the country proud. That was in the women's 1,500 meters at Kasarani.
Vile nilikuwa nimepanga kuchukua gold. Sikuwa natarajia nitachukua, lakini kwa umoja wetu nikaweza kuchukua hiyo gold. Niliomba tu nikasema Mungu anisaidie tu kunipea nguvu ya kumalizia mwisho. Ndio nikaweza sasa kuweka kiki yangu ikanisaidia. Mipango yangu ni kufanya vizuri kwa hapo ili niweze kuendelea vizuri. Nasema tu nashukuru walimu wangu, wazazi na pia wanafunzi wangu. Huwa wananisaidia sana kwa shule. Huwa wananipea muda niende ni train. Sana washukuru sana. Pia coach wangu namshukuru sana.
Well, that is Purity Chepkirui, gold medalist in the women's 1,500 meters. And coach, there is something we've heard from her. Nashukuru wazazi wangu. Thank you to my parents for letting me train. What's your message, to the people out there who've got these young persons who are talented and can get into sport?
Yeah, it's very important, very crucial, because family comes first, the parents. And you've heard even the elite athletes, they've been talking about their parents. Like Faith Chemgetich, she has always been telling us about her parents, what the support they have given.
Actually, her interview, I think, was more like kutuma salamu kwa familia na wote.
Yeah, the parents, they play a crucial role. And even the coach and all we need that psychosocial support system whereby the athlete is supported from the ground to whatever level that the athlete wants to go. And this is, I want to say also, what I saw in Purity is what I see in Faith Chemgetich. You never let it go. The fight is big, there is hot fire, but she never let it down. She never let it go. And that is how Kenya wins any championship. And kudos go to her, because she showed us that she can also emulate Faith Chemgetich.
Matthew, tell us now about this 1,500 meter scenario in the country where Faith Chemgetich is there. I mean, at the top of the world. But where can we get some kind of competition so that anytime we go to Kasarani or the Kipkedu Stadium in Eldoret or Bohungu in Kakamega, or if we go down to the Machakos track out there, we know there's going to be fireworks in that event?
Okay, maybe I'll talk a little bit about Faith and where she trains, because that is also where I used to train. Because you see, why Faith Kipyegon is succeeding is all the systems are working. All the systems, be the coach, be the husband, be the wife, be
no, she has no wife.
No, the husband. Sorry, the husband. Sorry, the husband. Yes, and the coach. I know Patrick is very strict, and Faith, she stays in the camp all through, and now there's a discipline. That's
Kaptagat.
Yes, Kaptagat. Discipline is key, because you see, these athletes can be in the camp Monday to Saturday. What they do between Saturday and Sunday, when they come on Monday, they messed up all what they did the other week. Because they go to parties, they go to wherever, they do crazy things. When they come, they're starting all over again. You see, so self-discipline is very important, and all the other systems. So I want to say Kipyegon and the system and where she is perfect. Why? Because it's the same place where Kipchoge is training. Where this guy who broke the 21 kilometers, Kamworor. See,
and that is where you also have Ivan Kien.
Yes, Ivan Kien.
That's where you also have British Chepkoech.
I want to say that training camp, there is a system, and if you break the law, even if you break the rules of the camp, even if you are the best, because you will spoil the others, they will send you out. And
Uh-huh.
You see?
Well, let me tell you about that camp. It's a global sports communication camp in Kaptagat. That's where you've got Eliud Kipchoge. And you know what? Whenever these people from Europe go to that camp, the first thing they are shocked is that there is a timetable for cleaning the bathrooms and the toilets. And Eliud Kipchoge has his day. And from Birir, you can confirm this. What's worse, to miss a day in training or to fail to wash the bathrooms?
Everything is very important in the camp. You see, even the time to eat, even the time to sleep, when to train, it's like in a military camp. And when you go there, Wahome, as a visitor, you are not allowed to take photographs, and you have to go there with the rules. You are allowed, and you must follow the rules. And I think that is what is supposed to. Even in preparation going to Tokyo, I said, what is happening in the camps? If for 1 month, there must be a strict rules there. We should not allow athletes to move out, go there, do crazy things, come back there. You see, you find good athletes who ran well in the trials, and they could not run well in the Tokyo Olympics. What happened in between? Self-discipline, maybe there's weather conditions. Because I was also asking Mwaniki, why Kenya now we cannot even determine the level of athletes, so that after picking those athletes, we should be able to, so that we don't give them the same workload. You can kill the ones which is top, and train the same as those who are 80% and those who are 90%, so that you know how to put you can train those athletes. See, like this guy who ran 10,000, he was enjoying the pace, but going to Tokyo, he was dead.
All right, Mwaniki, a quick response to that. How you manage athletes, because you've been in charge of the national team at the Africa Senior Championships in 2018. Kenya collected that 10 gold medals. And how do you then manage an athlete, for example, when you have Edward Zakayo, who may be who was in Tampere, Finland, so he's already won the under-20, then became the African champion, vis-a-vis somebody like Daniel Simiyu, who's probably peaking by just running within the local circuit?
Yeah, in training there are different phases of training, and once you start the preparation, you have the general preparation, the specific, and now the competition. If you have 1 month as a coach, you need to be very careful, because this is whereby you have to prepare the athlete for the final slot whereby he's going to run the competition. And the key thing is recovery is very important. You have to make sure that the athlete is recovered well. And what Birir has talked about is we must make sure that the athlete stays in the camp, so that he can take a good rest and do the specific work that is required to prepare him for the final bit. The other thing also is the psychological aspect. You have to talk to the athlete and make sure that you talk to him and assure him, because different coaches have different approach of preparing the final preparation for competition. So this is where we have a major challenge. When we have athletes in the camp, the coach must be able to monitor the athlete and be able to come up with something that will be able to deliver the goods that everybody expects. So whatever happened in Tokyo, we can blame so many things, but we were surrounded with so much, because you see the guys were coming out of COVID. We were in all these problems of COVID and also traveling to Japan, those restrictions. We had our athletes earlier there in Japan. So there is nowhere we can be able to pinpoint where the problem came from. But we thank God, because we were able to be top in Africa. Okay. And this was very crucial.
There is this point, Wahome.
Yes.
If we know we are going to Tokyo, and knowing what the conditions the athletes will be, why do we subject the athletes to go there for 2 weeks, knowing that you are taking your athletes to roast? why don't we like the long distance runners? Why don't we wait until the last minute? You know, we need to we assume the small things, but those are very important. Because like in Atlanta Olympics, I was in London, I was forced to go and train in Mississippi, where the condition was terribly hot and humid, and I wanted to stay in London, because I really wanted to defend my champion, but I was forced to go there, whether I choose to go, and they asked me, are those who are preparing the teams ready for the medals, or just to go and show up and just run? You know, I think there is there's something missing. We need to, and also we need, during the preparation, Mwaniki, and I think you will agree with me, even part of the preparation is we need also to know who are our opponents. We need to show the athletes how they run through the video. This is Rhodesia. This is now Mo Farah. What the tactics, how Mo Farah wins. He wins, he stays behind, he comes in front and makes the pace to be slow. Then how do we counter that? And that is part of the preparations. But those are the things we are saying. It needs to be done now, not tomorrow. Now, if we want the gold medal for the Olympic, for the 3,000 meter steeple, because it's long gone, we may not be able to bring that gold sooner if we don't start doing things the right way.
All right, and he's a person who's legitimately allowed to complain because he won that steeplechase gold in 1992 in Barcelona, and I have to admit, and I have to say this, it is one of the bloodiest races, and by bloodiest races I mean literally. His shoes were damaged. Patrick Sang, coach to Eliud Kipchoge, was actually spiked. He was bleeding when he got to the end of that race. And also in the 10,000 meters, Richard Chelimo was spiked by Khalid Skar. And that's the first time I think Kenya is the only place where you have people's... He was the people's champion in the 10,000 meters. But after Tokyo, everyone wanted to find out, can Kenya really get back that gold medal in the 3,000 meters steeplechase? Two did come. First, from the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase. This one was won by Jacqueline Cherotich, with Faith taking a bronze medal in the 3,000 meters steeplechase. What was your reaction, Birir, after you saw, Jacqueline and Faith pick the gold and the bronze?
Oh, for the juniors?
Yes, for the juniors.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I was happy about that because I was disappointed with what happened in Tokyo, but these athletes need to be taken care of. Otherwise, still it will happen the same way, because now there's technology. Are we in the new technology as Kenyans? As the same points I was saying. Now these are the young athletes. Now they are going to the seniors. Now it's getting more competitive. And there's this issue of now. Once now they've gone to the Diamond Leagues, just before the championship, they go and run every Diamond League. Every Diamond League. Look at the other athletes from other countries. Once you know that now you're going for the gold, you are now going for the championship, now going for the gold, you have to deny yourself chance to go to the Diamond League so that you focus in the Olympics. But you see our Kenyans, they are running all over. And we're expecting them to be in the camp, they are running all over. Those are the things, those are small things. Okay, we may be chasing the dollars. Yes, but there's also a gold waiting for. We are waiting for the gold because you have been chosen to represent us in the Olympics. Yeah, but it's still okay, they have the rights. But it's good that you make a sacrifice. Now I'm in a Kenyan team. I don't do the Diamond Leagues so that I save the energy. And because if I'm now running for the country in the steeple, and I get beaten in the Diamond League, psychologically, I will be down. And whoever beats me, and I will be meeting him in the Olympics. This guy from Morocco, he knew that he was going to beat the Kenyans long ago during the Diamond Leagues. That's that's exactly what I'm talking about.
El Bakali.
Yeah, El Bakali, yes.
Coach, then how do you balance? I mean, from the sprinters who actually tend to need more action and the middle and long distance runners, how do you create that balance?
Yeah, you see, what my colleague here has said, the athletes have to have what we call self-talk. What is it that I want? And it's very important. You see,
Mukutano with yourself.
Yes, you must have the self-talk. Because you see, the federation cannot do much about that. It is you to decide. Do you want this medal, or you just want to have what we call a show up? You just go there and be a participant. It's very important. And for you to get results, you must sacrifice. You must sacrifice a lot. So sometimes you can blame the federation, but the athlete has decided to go and run so many races. So it is important that the athletes have a discussion. They sit down and talk to themselves, even talk to their managers, and make a decision what they want. Because getting a gold medal is not easy. You must sacrifice 100%. So that you'll be able to deliver that medal. Coming to steeplechase, this event was won back in 1968. Some of us were not in this, were not in the world, and now everybody is bitter about it because we've lost it in Tokyo. But I'm happy because the juniors at the World Under 20. You remember the press conference? He said he was bitter Kenya losing it in Tokyo, so he had to come back and get it back for us.
Actually, coach, let's hear from the gold medalist Amos Serem, who won the 3,000 meter steeplechase gold, and bronze medalist Simon Kiprop-Koech, who took a bronze. Let's get to hear what they said after that event, and Birir will tell us about the tactics that he saw Amos Serem pull off, plus his, what would I call it? The kind of hype action that he's got on the track.
Sasa huyu Kengele najua ni alikuwa na time 8 or 9. Sasa sisi tulikuwa tumepanga tukasema huyu Kengele huyu tutamfanyia kazi. Huyu mwingine alikuwa na U20, alikuwa kama mimi. Sasa wa kwanza alikuwa ya Kengele na 8 or 9, alafu Simon na 818, alafu mimi na 820 na huyu wa Ethiopia 820. Sasa nilikuwa nimejua kwa akili yangu hivi tuko wanne. Lakini penye tulikuwa tumepanga nilikuwa nimesema huyo 820 huyu tutapiga tupage watatu. In case of anything, hata maybe uenda alafu uanguke hivi bado uko sawa. Kuliko tupiga tupage wanne. In case of anything utakuwa number 4 au utakuwa unapata kitu. Hasa tulikuwa tumepanga tu vizuri. Sasa kutoka hapa hivi niko sure hivi sasa management wangu ataanza kunitafutia race kama Madam Only. Hasa najua hivi ndakimbilia Kenya na mafans wa Kenya nadhani watanishabikia wakisema Serem.
Nashukuru Mungu kwa vile nimeshindia ile medali ya shaba. Nashukuru kwa hayo. Mbio haikuwa rahisi vile najua kila mtu alikuwa na pressure. This is the last day, my Ethiopians now ndio hawa. Then hata sisi tulikuwa tunajaribu kudefend ile title yetu kuweza kuleta medali ya dhahabu na zingine. So tunashukuru tu Mungu kwa hayo. Plan yangu sasa ni naenda kujitayarisha tena vizuri. Pia hata mimi niweze kugraduate kwenda senior. Even the senior event which is coming now, I'm ready. I want to thank Kenyans. Most everybody expect that we need to bring back the medals, or they were expecting positive things. Yes, we have assured them that we have bring this, and we thank them because they have been praying for us. So thank you very much, and Mungu tu ambariki kila mmoja wetu ambaye aweza kutusaidia, kutuombea, na pia wazazi wetu nyumbani wenzetu pia.
Birir, you've heard it from Simon Kiprop-Koech. He looks like he was really aware that things were bad.
Yeah, for sure. He talked about it. You see the Ethiopians. Ethiopians never used to run the steeple because they never even knew how to hurdle. But now they are doing it perfectly. But what I saw in these runners is how the hurdling. They need to rectify that one. They have a poor hurdling, but I saw they had a lot of energy, and this guy who won, he was celebrating he was celebrating just before the last hurdle, which is very wrong because he was celebrating, was not concentrating on hurdling the last hurdle, but that could mess up. He could hit that one and we lose the medal there. It's better to celebrate once you are coming close to the finish line. So I think it is okay. Generally, for me, I'm okay. So those are nitty-gritties. They need to be prepared for.
Actually, let me come to something because you mentioned about the hurdling technique. I realized that they were at one point they were going over the hurdles like it's a 400-meter event, and when they got to the water jump, they were not using the bar, then the foot into the water. They were actually flying over it. What's the risk at that?
No, it's not. It should not be like that. Maybe the last lap, because you are too fast, you can do it without hurdle. But when you are trained, when you are in a top shape, there's no problem of stepping on that. But for me, I did it for many years. You have to step on that thing so that you be able to jump more outside the water, close to the edge. Otherwise, when you jump, you go to the deep. So I don't think it's the right way, but that has been happening. I saw even even in Tokyo, even our senior guys were doing the same thing. Yeah.
And you see, when an Olympic champion tells you something is not right, and that is in his event in the 3,000 meters steeplechase, you better believe it. Coach, what's your assessment of that steeplechase event, and going forward, how to sustain these people, because with Conseslus, I mean, a little bit off at the moment, and with the whole world now really interested in this event, they've decided Kenyans are beatable. How do you keep these young men going?
Yeah, we need to work with them closely, and we need to work on the technique. As Birir said, we need to work on the technique. The coaches who are handling these athletes need to work on that, because once we get the technique right, we are a land of long distance runners, and we can manage it. The other thing also, it is positive for us to win that event, the World Under 20, and we believe next year where we are having the African Championship in Mauritius, and then now we go to the World Championship in Oregon, we think that we'll be able to start our journey, because once we lost in Tokyo, we need to start it all over again. Go to World Championship in Oregon, US next year, get the medal, the gold medal, which we are used to, and then prepare ourselves for Paris, which is coming in 3 years' time.
Now, also, Benson Kibet won the men's 5,000 meter gold, and Levi Kibet took the bronze. The 5K, is there hope? I mean, after Longo Siwa and Kamoror, and Eliud Kipchoge exited the stage, there's been a gap, and Caleb Ndiko just basically had a drop in form after 2015. What ideally would, where is the 5K now?
The 5K is okay for us, and we need to get back our cross country, because that is where we build our 5K 10,000 meter runners, and the cross country series we normally have in our country, it prepares ourselves very well, our athletes very well. So with the 5,000, what we saw at Kasarani, the young man has spirit, is fighting hard, and that is our Kenyan style. And we need to support these young men so that we be able to go back and win these 5,000 meters, because it has been elusive. We've been chasing it, but I think with these young men who are more patriotic, we'll be able to get it.
But what is Ugandans doing that we are not doing? Because even Ugandans, if the preparation was cross country, what is Uganda doing? I think I was going to differ a little bit with Mwaniki, because our runners, especially the 10,000 and 5,000, they mix the road race and the track, which for sure it should not happen when you are preparing for the championship. At least for 3 months, you stay away from the road, so that and also when they go, like when they are competing, for example, if I'm 5,000, when I go to Diamond League, I stick to 5,000. I should even try 1,500 so that I improve my speed. I go to maybe 10,000 to even increase my endurance. But now I go to Diamond League, I'm running 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and I'm meeting all the same runners I'm going to meet in the championship. You saw that the 5,000 and the 10,000, if Mwaniki, you agree with me, we lost it about 5 years ago. We could see that. And we are not doing anything as coaches. And we propose that can we now bring all our coaches on the round table? We discuss what is not happening, what is missing, so that when we start the new year, we are just doing what is now. We are now countering what the Ugandans are doing, because you see the Ugandans are getting it right. You see they are almost winning 1-2. Even in 10,000, almost the same thing, because they had Joshua to kill the pace, then Cheptegei to win, and that was a working tactics. Us Kenyans, because we had one athlete, there was no tactics. Even the 10,000, the same thing. Once you have the three runners in the finals, you will be able now to plan the tactics. But you cannot do with one athlete. But you see, for sure, we need Mwaniki time now to come on the round table. We discuss what has been happening now. Yes. All right.
Serious stuff coming in from Mathew Birir. And overall for the championships, 4 under-20 world records were set. 2 of them in the 110-meter hurdles, and 12.72. Just put it into context. Because of the height of the hurdles, it becomes an under-20 world record by Sasha Zoya of France. And the world record is at 12.8. That's for the proper high hurdles at the 110 for the seniors. But 2 world records by him, under 20 level, and the 4x100 meter relay, the Jamaican women, and also the 4x100 meter relay by the South African men. Overall, the 4 world records, 15 championship records, 11 area under 20 records, basically continental records, then 68 national under 20 records, and 10 national senior records. Mwaniki,
Yeah, it was a phenomenon. I'm telling you, I think the athletics fathers will think deep about having Kasarani as a venue for other events, because people were running very fast. Most of the people I was talking to, the coaches from all over the world, they were telling me, I think this track is fast. So we need to come up with a way of, like, the event which is coming next month, the Kip Keino Classic. We need to have more events at Kasarani whereby guys can come and run, get their time, because at the moment we have stadium records, the records which were posted by athletes from all over the world at Kasarani, so they can use that venue to hype athletics in Kenya and also to bring our standards up, especially in 400 meters. You saw the Botswana guy did 44.58. That is pretty fast. We've never seen a Kenyan running that time on Kenyan soil.
I mean, there is one, Emmanuel Korir, he did 44.21.
Yeah, but for the young guy, that guy is under 20. For him to post 44.58, it means that track is fast. So we need to have.
I will concur with Birir at this point.
Yeah, especially for sprints, we need to put our heads together and come up with something, because our performance, if you compare with the world, we are far much behind.
Birir, your take on the championships?
For the under 20, I'm generally happy. I'm okay. Those few small things we should not live without a postmortem, so that it will guide us in the future. But for Tokyo, there is a lot. For sure, I'm not happy, because 3,000 meters steeple, even before the championship, the whole world knew that this is a goal for Kenya. We go and put it in our bag, and then we go to run, and just to confirm that it's ours. But nowadays, it is just like for any country now is training for steeple. But for sure, there's gaps. There are gaps, and this is Kenya. And our Kenya, our country, we need to do the right things. As Mwaniki said, we are not fighting anybody. It's just, if you are there, if somebody in the government is hearing, athletics need money. We need equipment down there, because with even the juniors, the condition they are training in before they come to the nationals is pathetic. Like a Marine, there's no stadium. See, Kapsabet, there's no stadium. It has been built. It's not complete. There's nowhere to train. In Iten, there's nowhere to train. We need stadium in the counties, so that we'll be able to train our athletes down there. Because if we have to bring, like you were asking, where are the other generation? The other generations are down there. If we don't prepare them well, we will not have them in the future up here. So I think we need a lot of investment down there.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. On my immediate left, man in the checked shirt, 1992 Olympic champion in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, Mathew Birir, breaking it down for us, and he's basically decided he is going to spike everything the same way his shoes were spiked. He still has a photo, by the way. Sorry, Birir, I didn't get that photo. I mean, to put it up. People need to see. I think the next time you visit, that shoe should be in your bag, okay, so that people understand when I say that it was a very difficult race. It was difficult, and the person who was making sure that all the athletes are in the stadium on time, all the time, at the World Under 20 Championships in Cold Room 1, Coach Stephen Mwaniki. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and on to the next one. We know there is Eugene, there is Brussels, but more importantly, there is the Kip Keino Classic. Well, we shall be taking a short break, and we come back, we speak about golf, the World Corporate Golf Challenge. We shall be joined by the captain of the Royal Nairobi Golf Club, which is going to host it, Mr. Sylvester Odhiambo, and also we've got Phoebe Naina, who is with the Corporate Golf Challenge. Coming up after this short break.